Hi, my friends. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. You thought you weren't gonna see any uploads today, huh? Gotcha. Anyway, I wanted to talk about letting those walls go down today. If anyone here is like me or has gone through similar things in their lives, such as having your trust broken, having your heart broken, being betrayed, you're not alone. I know what that feeling is like all too well. And I also know that when things of that nature happen to people, we tend to close ourselves in this safe space. We build these walls around ourselves, around our hearts, and a lot of the times, most of the times, once we go through enough of that kind of thing, we promise ourselves we're never going to allow that type of thing to happen to us again. Like I said, I know what you've been through. I know what that feels like, trust me. But the things that we don't see is that you can't live the rest of your life that way. It's not going to be good in the long run. Let me just put it to you that way. At some point, even if you don't do that by choice, you're probably going to end up running into someone in your life that perhaps will be the catalyst and make you feel that you can trust again and that you can be vulnerable again. And that might not be the best feeling you're ever going to have. But it's going to be a reminder of how amazing and how wonderful it is when you actually allow yourself to be able to trust and to be able to be vulnerable again. There comes a time in our lives where we gotta learn to let those walls come down. It's really not good to live the rest of your lives that way. I know it. And if when that time comes, it ends up hurting you again, breaking your heart, or whatever that is, don't let that be the end of it all. And don't put those walls back up again. Because you never know what's gonna be around the corner next time something beautiful like that happens to you. So I'm just here to remind everyone that it's okay to trust. It's okay to let go. It's okay to dissolve those walls once and for all. There's no point in living life when you're always operating under these strict rules that you put up on yourself of always being overprotective of yourself and on the defense side of things, because you don't ever want to feel connected with someone ever again, because you're afraid that when that day happens again, that you're gonna be hurt again or whatever, because I understand, trust me, I understand. I know we tend to paint the scenarios in our minds when things like that come up, and then the fear creeps in the back of your mind, and it tells you, what are you doing? Why did you decide to open your heart again? Why are you becoming vulnerable again? What are you doing? I understand, trust me. But that's that part of you that believes that you're never good enough, that you don't deserve, that you're not worthy. It's that part of you that forgot what self-love and self-respect is. And it's a part of you that forgot that trusting is a beautiful thing. Look, I get it. People let us down. That's the story of our lives, right? For the most part. One after the other. People let us down all the time. That's what humans do to each other. But just because people do these things to each other doesn't mean that everybody does that, and doesn't mean that everybody is that way. And it also does not mean that everybody acts that way towards one another. Remember, at the end of the day, I am you and you are me. We're all the same. We may be different in our own way, but we're all the same. We have to learn how to trust again. No matter how difficult and painful that may be. Because that's the only healthy way to live a good life. Let's be honest. It's kind of like this. If you had the chance to live the biggest love story of all time, in the history of mankind, pay attention to what I'm saying here, okay? I'm going to say it again. If you had the chance to live the most beautiful love story in the history of mankind, the biggest love you ever had, biggest than anything that you have ever experienced in your life, but you knew that it wouldn't last forever, and in the end you would have your heart broken, would you do it? I know my answer. I think it's worth it. I really do. I'm being totally honest here. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We never do. We never will. That's not a smart way of living life. I've talked about this many times before. We are either reliving our past or thinking about the future most of the time. We never live in the now. We are never truly in the now most of the time. Generally speaking, that's what most people do. And that's how most people fail. Because we're not meant to be living in the past or thinking about the future. We are meant to be in the here, in the now at all times. That is the wise way to live life. So, my personal answer to what I was just talking about is, if I could live the greatest love ever, knowing that it wouldn't last forever and one day it would end and break my heart, I would do it. Because I would love to have an experience like that. And because that is our birthright as humans here, as a soul experiencing this physical reality. Now, everyone is free to have a different opinion and to make their own choices. But after 50 plus years in here, going through a whole lot of stuff, experiencing a lot of ups and downs in my life, I learned that it's good to trust. It actually feels great. And vulnerability is part of the equation. We have to know how to be that way. Trust each other. Yeah. Not much else to say here. Trusting is very, very important and very, very powerful. It will make or break your life at some point. I don't know about you guys, but I'm done with the breaking part. I've had enough of that in my life in the past, and I'm not dealing with that anymore. So from this point forward, I choose to live in a different way. And quite some time ago, to be honest with you all, I decided to let my walls down and regain my humanity, so to speak. Learn how to trust. And just trust. So if you haven't gotten to this part yet, to this point in your life, here's my invitation to you. Give it a try. Let those walls down. Can't keep living that way. It's not fun at all. I know that. Trust me on that. Everything changes when you do that, though. Everything. And it's worth it. And this is really all I wanted to say today. My voice is still a little messed up, though. But it's okay. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. I love you all. Never stop loving yourselves. And I will catch you all next time. Take care, my friends.